Hey guys, it's Jaylon. Welcome back. I'm here today to share with you my update for my Palette Love series. This is a project where I work on my palettes and I roll them in randomly, and I like to get at least 1 to 2 uses on the palettes during the month, and then I rotate them out and bring in new ones. So last month I was working on 5 palettes. Since then, I have done a palette declutter. It's coming soon. I recorded everything. I just need to edit. It's a lot of footage. And 3 of the palettes that I pulled into this project have left my collection. And I don't want to go digging for them because they're all in a bin. And it's just, I have a headache and So let me just tell you the ones I ended up decluttering. I think I mentioned that these may be on the chopping block last month. The first one is the Colourpop So Jaded palette. I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Even if I take out 2 shades that I know I don't like, the palette doesn't scream to me. So I really was working on getting my palette collection down. And then the Laura Geller Cinnamon and Spice palette, I did use that one and it was okay. I mean, it was fine, but it's a really boring palette. So I decided to get rid of it. And then the Colourpop Give It To Me Straight palette, that is also decluttered because it's a very warm palette. And I just decided I don't want a lot of those palettes in my collection, maybe like 1 or 2, but that's not my go-to color story. So those are the 3 palettes I decluttered. I still have 2 from the last update that I worked on. The first one is by Makeup Revolution. It's the Jewel Collection in the Opulent shade. So here is this one. Ooh, we've got some shimmer powder that's kind of flaky. I really loved this. I was a little surprised at how much I loved it. It's really pretty. These eyeshadows are kind of a creamy consistency. They're not like, they're just creamy. I don't know how else to describe them. But I did enjoy wearing it. So the palette is staying. I mean, it survived my declutter. I loved it. Now this one, I don't remember if I did a look with it. I think I did. I think I used the mattes for a couple of looks. I don't know if I used the shimmers because I'm working on some like purpley shimmers and other projects, but I'm pretty sure I used like this matte, and this matte. But I might keep it in for another round because I vaguely remember it. So I think I'm going to keep it in one more round and I will go ahead and roll in 5 and then we'll have an additional 6th one this month. So sorry the 3 palettes that I decluttered aren't here, but like I said, I'm being lazy. You got to take shortcuts when you can. So I am going to pull up Wheel of Names, which is where I have these products stored, and that's how I choose them randomly. And the other thing is that I did already update my spreadsheet in Wheel of Names, or my list in Wheel of Names, to account for the palettes that I have decluttered. Okay, we currently have 197 palettes in this list. I think I'm not going to tell you where we were before. All right, here we go. So we're picking 5 palettes. Go. 5 palettes. Pat McGrath Mothership 5. 5. Bronze Seduction. Ooh, it's been a while since we've had a Pat McGrath palette in here. Colourpop Making Mauves. Okay, that's 2. Number 3. Flower Beauty Jungle Lights. That was a gift from Valerie. So that's number 3. Number 4. Oh, I'm actually working on this palette right now in my Pan and Every palette. I'm trying to decide if I should. Okay, we'll use it. 4. Right, that's 4. And then number 5. Colourpop Fame. All right, let me grab these. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Let me share with you the palettes we rolled in, or I rolled in. Collective we. I have the Pat McGrath Mothership number 5 in Bronze Seduction. This packaging is gorgeous. So, as usual, Pat McGrath palettes look like this. And then here is the palette itself. So we have some beautiful special shades. Let's just swatch these because they're so pretty. And I want to swatch this beautiful deep dark shade here. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I'm just going to swatch the rest of it. Why not? All right. There is the palette. Definitely leans a little bit on the warm side, but then we've got this cool tone shade, a couple of cool tone shades that are really pretty. So that's the reason why it stayed. Next palette we got was the Colourpop Making Mauves palette. This is one of their 9 pans. Oh, it's so up my alley. It's kind of similar to what I'm currently panning, the Buxom Dolly's Wild Side. Yeah, Wild Side. I was like, is that the name of the palette? I'm right now just swatching these shimmer shades, which are gorgeous. And these mattes look so nice. I find that the mattes in their palettes are very soft. So those are just some of the mattes. This one looks a little patchy, so we'll have to see how it performs on the eye. It's this one. And then I'll just, let's get the rest of these. There's, I think, one left that I didn't swatch. There we go. Those two down there. So yeah, it's a gorgeous palette. Gorgeous. If I can do my hand straight. I love palettes like that. Those are like my go-to, easy, just I don't need any time to think about palettes. Next, I got the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. So this is the palette. I think this went on sale at Ulta last holiday. And Valerie had this, and her and Danny both love this palette. So she picked it up for me. I haven't tried it yet, so we're going to give it a shot. I did swatch it though. So let me show you what these shimmers look like. They're very like blingy, super blingy. Of course, this one's my favorite. The green is really pretty too. And that purple, man, that's a great outer corner shade. So those are the shades in the palette. They really do pop. Gorgeous. So I'll probably use this here and there for like my guess is I'm going to use this purple and probably this green and then this shade and maybe this shade. We'll see. Next up is the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. So I do have this in my Pan and Every palette right now. I'm working on the shade Floof, which is this one down here. But here's the rest of the palette. And I do like this. Now, there are some shades in here I wouldn't use, like hashtag. I just don't like shades like this. But I feel like the rest of this is a pretty neutral, like neutral palette. It's not super warm leaning. And it does have these, these kind of reddy colors, which I do enjoy. And this Wine and Dine shade is really pretty, although it doesn't look like it's swatching very well. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah, it's like a little warm, but for the most part, look at that red. For the most part, it's pretty neutral, which is why I like it and why it survived the declutter. Anyway, see if I can get some use on that. And then lastly, we have the Colourpop Fame palette. And this is a very cool toned palette. I did hit pan in this shade, which is Lifestyle in Pan and Every palette. So I'll just swatch some of these shimmers. Love it. So gorgeous. So yeah, those are the 6 palettes I'm working on. 5 that I just reviewed, plus the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions that I'm going to try to use one more time. So yeah, that is going to be it for this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will probably have my palette declutter up, I'm hoping, in a couple of weeks. Like I said, it's a lot of footage, so it may take me some time, and I did break it up into 2 parts. Hope you guys are doing well. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.